LCS playoffs. It is available. You can go for it early if you want for G2 in the next, pick phase here and try and camp Ruler and Core JJ. They are a strong dual lane on Samsung's side, but they have definitely been shut down in the past by teams playing very aggressive towards the bottom lane. Especially when there's a Varus that you can flash on as an Alistar.
By far the most picked champion for Ruler during the regular season, playing it even before, long before the Ardent Sensor meta took shape.
Oh!
And we've switched things up immediately because Gragas was the second best jungler, so to speak, with Sejuani ban. The Ivern, that's a throwback there for Trick.
I love the fact that Ivern has been used. I really felt like he was like low-key good coming into this because he brings Ardent Sensor. So when you run a support without Ardent Sensor, Ivern will bring that. We get that Alistar we just talked about. There's a Varus with no mobility on the side of Samsung.
However, they have still found an Ardent Sensor in their game. You can't ban all of them right there. Tarek, with the Ardent Sensor, can apply it to the entire team if he has the right circumstances reached, and can be very good against champions that have to all-in engage like Tarek, as long as the burst isn't incredibly upfront. But to your point, Officio, the Xayah Alistar can be extremely aggressive, and it doesn't have the late game penalty of no Ardent Sensor since they picked the Ivern. So I really love that trio of picks.
And Tarek, of course, is a standard answer from a lot of supports, especially over in the LCK, where looking towards the late game team fights, when Alistar is like jumping your back line, you pop down that Tarek ulti, your carries will not die. A Varus with Rage Blade and Ardent Sensor just free hitting. But G2's comp at the moment with Ivern are not necessarily looking to dive the enemy backline in team fights. It's actually looking to also just deal with the big tanks in the front. Because Ivern is obviously not going to offer anything when it comes to killing people.
You almost have two choices in that. You can say, oh, as G2, our first initiation didn't work, pull back, do it again.
That smells like a Corgi pick.
Decide what they want to do. Absolutely could. We see Cassidy, LeBlanc, Syndra, Rise. Corgi does seem like he could very much so be on the list. They may just leave it out for the last. Ruler could be locking in that Cho'Gath, as Samsung Galaxy, as we heard, loves to go late.
Yeah, and this is also a pick right there, a power pick in the top lane, and I think more importantly, gives them the counter pick in the mid lane. You already have those 4 mid lane bans. What do you think the blind pick is here for Perks?
Give me Trundle or Gnar for expecting the top lane against that Cho'Gath if he wants actually like a counter pick for himself. Perks wants to play it safe. The Kassadin ban was surprising when they now didn't pick the mid laner blind, because obviously G2 would never blind pick Kassadin. It seemed like Samsung were expecting a Cho'Gath ban from G2. When that didn't happen, they kind of adapted on the fly.
Yeah, I think a lot of these last picks don't have huge counter pick value right here. The Cho'Gath and the Maokai with the current bans, not necessarily huge counter pick value, and the Shen can have a better late game laning phase against the Cho'Gath if they choose that.
Yeah, and obviously Shen does offer even more potential bot lane dive. You have the Alistar engage with the Shen ulti on him. I sometimes feel teams tunnel too hard and then just playing bot side when they go for Shen here over Maokai, because Maokai is the superior late game tank, and he's back, baby.
Round 2, they got the taunt.
The flash is up. Where is it? Oh, there's that long-range damage. Root Caller to come in. This one's going to be it. He's going to slalom through the minions, but not far enough. First blood going to Shen. Going to expect.
Officio, Ivern players everywhere. You do a little bit of damage.
You definitely do a little bit.
It's better than having no one else there. And
it's sugar-coated.
Specifically, being able to just... Oh, Sven, no flash. They get the ultimate as well.
Stunned under. Ruler goes a little aggressive. Ambitions here to possibly save the day. The brush is there for Sven to keep firing from as he uses it for a bit of protection in and out. And G2 is out.
That's exactly the type of turnaround they needed after they used the Shen ultimate to not generate a kill, because that lane was starting to get a little bit out of hand, and Ruler would...
Both teams are okay saying, sure, let's just go towards the late game and test who is truly the best team fighting team.
And I feel like CuVee is feeling that even more. We don't have that Tristana in this game to destroy him if he goes to 30-some minutes as that Cho'Gath. Already the Righteous Glory could be that engage that the team looks for. Right now, Rift Heralds and possibly a Dragon, but the Cloud Drake may just stay waving in the wind for a while here. Might get a little aggression from that top side.
There we go.
was wondering, it's kind of like Mithy's calling to the team, do we want this? Should we engage? Perk says
look,
yes. Right over the wall, Cosmic Radiance goes out, uses that another Valkyrie to get himself to safety, and Stand United comes in. The 2v2 on the backside with Daisy coming in, threes the crowd. And what damage from Perks! Looking at the left side now, his ambition about to go down. Featherstorm comes out as they try to lock him down. Great fights by Core JJ and Crown on the right side. As we look back behind Baron Pit, they're able to turn the fight as the double kill from Expect comes through after the flash. And now they're trying to sort this one out to keep themselves alive, but also find that last sliver of health that could be keeping Expect alive. And he goes down. 2 more kills for Samsung Galaxy.
What chaos in that fight after 18 minutes of trying to find small advantages. Everyone finally uses those globals to fight around the Rift Herald. It's a split fight, top and bottom, but in the end of it, 4 people fall on G2, and Samsung trying to push mid.
Yeah, it was a good start with the Corki jumping into that backline, but Core JJ read the situation and instantly popped the Taric ulti. Bought so much time before G2 could actually kill Ruler in the fight and allowing the rest of Samsung to...
Let's see it one more time.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see it again here. After they forced the flash from Taric, the package is available from Perk's side. He should call for Shen ulti already, but Shen of course has to respect that he can't be stopped by a Cho'Gath. So he actually ends up jumping out of the fight, but now the ulti's down here, buying time for Samsung's backline, and then look at Ambition to the left, waiting for CuVee to join. And by the time his Cho'Gath joins, well, a lot of damage has already been dealt by the Gragas, and now kills coming for Samsung.
Yeah, small fight on the back end as well, and when Crown is untouched, it allows him to chase, because at this point, it looked like a one fight for G2, but because of how healthy CuVee and Crown were by the end of it, thanks to how much G2 burned at the very start of that fight into the Taric ultimate, since they couldn't escape the fight, it ends up being 4 for them.
This Rift Herald is going to disappear very, very soon, but they just kill it in time. Samsung got the bot lane tower, though.
Situation to see who makes a mistake around this area. Mid lane getting a little bit of minion love now coming in, but it looks like it gets cleared out immediately by Sven and the rest of the team there.
He had to burn a lot. Ambition caught.
Very, very caught. Cosmic Radiance goes down. Looks like the whole team's going to be able to walk out of this. A nice hit onto Ruler from Daisy. Might keep him in range, but CuVee getting in there with the rest of the team, but Crown comes through. Throw another rock, he says, and comes up with the kill onto Trick. Now a silence. Perks in the mid lane, almost getting chomped down, but that's already been used by CuVee. Another kill onto Expect, and that goes into the hands of Ruler as they have finally found G2 wandering around in the jungle.
Yeah, and that's Baron. I was going to say to track the cooldown of Farsight totems because Samsung was starting to choke vision around Baron, but they actually face check while having both Farsight totems up, and that gives them a very bad initiation. And here's the Baron we talked about. They're healing on the pit, thanks to Core JJ.
And this G2 lineup that's trying to play these team fights where they one-eye Perks and Sven just deal a lot of damage with auto attacks, and then they can, you know, have these long fights where they can stay alive. It gets kind of ruined by the fact that Crown is able to deal serious damage, and then CuVee is able to finish off people. Normally when you're stepping out of a fight as like an Iron or a Shen, you can kind of regain some HP and you won't actually die and the fight won't end. But when this Cho'Gath joins, he just feasts the first guy in front of him and kills him, and then the Iron is already gone. Like, look at this fight here. It actually is fine on both sides. Early Taric comes down, and now with Trick being caught by both Cho'Gath and Talia, well, he's gone in a second, and you can no longer kite.
Yeah, Varus ultimate, very key right there as well. CuVee's so tanky on the outside, and Ruler has that passive attack speed from picking up a kill, can just start shredding through people. A very accurate ruptures from CuVee as well coming into this choke point-filled team fight, and the 2 kills is all they need to get that Baron. Cho'Gath dominated fight.
I mean, take away his true damage, still crushing through people.
The team fights, which is the most important thing for Samsung in this game.
Trying to make something happen.
Throws down that Iron Will. Will he be able to stay alive throughout all the damage? No. CuVee says dinner time as they start going on the turrets. The silence, the ruptures. G2 can hardly even move inside their own bases. Samsung Galaxy plows through the front door. Looks to get another kill on Sven. A double kill for Crown as he says King Me coming through the base as well. And they're going to start on the Nexus turrets.
Beautiful flash seismic shove at the tail end of that fight to put the icing on the cake. Carries are gone. Samsung has Baron. This is game, Riv.
27.5 minutes in, Samsung Galaxy will lock down their first win as they start group stages.
And we learned a few things in this game here. Crown is a player who's gotten a lot of criticism during the summer split. It's not been great for him. He's died a lot in the early game. He struggled to have the impact in the late game. This game, however, his Talia was spot on. Fantastic team fights from him. multiple times. We even saw that last one. Sure, you got to flash forward and get a little fancy kill as well.
Yep. Not necessarily about the Weaver's wall, as the double teleport and the Shen would have potentially blocked those, but able to chain the CC very well with the rest of that team. So CuVee on the Cho'Gath, even though he wasn't the guy with the 3 kills from the mid-game team fight, really controlled those fights that ended the game very quickly, because the fight around the Baron pit to the Baron, it was over before that power play was done.
Exactly. A lot of things made sense in the G2